Welcome to the J. Kelley Business to Business Talk Show, brought to you by J. Kelley Referrals and Information Services. This program is designed to be a source of information for current and potential business owners everywhere. And now your host for the J. Kelley Business to Business Talk Show, the CEO of J. Kelley Referrals and Information Services, Miss Mary Parham.
Good afternoon, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for tuning in to J. Kelley Business to Business. We are on the move now. We come to you, and we are so excited today to be at SBA because this is an opportunity. You want to get a pen and pencil together because you want to take down all the information, especially if you are a small business, or you're thinking about going into business, or whatever your plans are. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your auntie, tell your cousin, tell your college student who's been sitting on the couch for 2 years now can't figure out what he wants to do. If you're thinking about going into business, please get a pen and paper so you can take down this information. Today I am with you, and we are talking about the PPP loan. A lot of you have heard about it, but now you can really understand it and get information, real information, true information on what you need to do. I'm Mary Parham with J. Kelley Referrals, and we are on the move, and today we are moving to SBA. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too,
Let's
Ms. Parham.
give them your name and tell them.
Thank you. Yeah, Edward Haddock. I'm the District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration's Arkansas District Office. So we run the programs, SBA programs for the entire state of Arkansas, and we've been focused on PPP for the last almost a year at this point.
Almost a year. Hey, I've been glued to your hip for almost a year. Yeah. Not you physically, but my bank, because they the one that introduced me to it. Let's talk about the Payroll Protection Program, because a lot of people don't know what it is, and they don't really know if they can qualify for it, and we want them to know everything about it.
Great.
Let's go right into the camera.
Thank you. So the Paycheck Protection Program is one of the COVID relief funding efforts that were passed through the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Relief Act, that gave businesses, nonprofits, and eligible applicants access to funding to help really keep their employees paid and their businesses open or their nonprofits open during this entire COVID pandemic. So what that program does is it supports eligible applicants, and I use the term eligible applicants because it's not just small business anymore, Mary.
Right, I know.
We're doing the financial relief for everyone, and that includes nonprofit entities. That includes those jobbers or sole proprietors doing, let's say, gig workers. Let's say you're hustling and doing Bite Squad.
Oh my.
So we can help replace the income.
Small contractors?
Small contractors, independent contractors. If you're painting houses, if you're fixing plumbing, and just by yourself, or let's say you got a side hustle and you've been working on that side hustle over the past couple years and it's kind of gotten you some income. Well, this is a great opportunity where if you have the right documentation.
Documentation beats conversation any day.
We're going to talk about that today.
Okay.
If you have the right documentation and if you have and have been paying yourself some salary, you can then have that replaced through the Paycheck Protection Program.
A lot of people don't know that. We had a small independent contractor. He had one person working for him, and he didn't know anything about it. We brought him into our office, and he was able to fill out the application, and then was able to get the first $10,000.
That's fantastic, and so it helps not only replace his income, but also make sure that he can continue to pay that employee that he has going through. Through the Paycheck Protection Program, what we're looking to do is make sure that we can cover the cost of either your salary up to $100,000 a year, and the cost of any of your employees' salaries up, of course, that cap is at $100,000, and we'll also cover eligible overhead expenses. So this is like rent, utilities, those must-pays that your business has to pay every month to keep your doors open.
Telephone, all of that.
So it's covered under the Paycheck Protection. And what we do is we look at the 2019 payroll and your 2019 earnings to find out how much were you spending on a monthly basis for employee salary and overhead. Then we multiply, or we take that total annual, we divide it by 12 and multiply it by 2.5. What that does is it gives us your eligible loan calculation, or how much you could qualify for with your numbers where they're at.
Okay, question. Put a pin right there. Is that repayable? Do they have to pay that back?
So this
the first
is
one.
Right. So this is designed as a loan. Originally, the Paycheck Protection Program was designed as a loan, but it's a forgivable loan. So I think going into this and what we had a lot of unknowns, right?
Okay.
Because
When
you got to
you say
remember. Hold on. You
Okay.
got to remember that when we started this, within 7 days, Congress gave us the marching orders. We had to have a program opened. So
Okay.
we've been building this as we go along, trying to understand and get as many folks into the door as possible and make sure the program works as seamlessly as possible. So when this started, Paycheck Protection Program with eligible forgiveness, that means if you have that loan, you take it and you use it for those expenses, the employer, employee, the covered expenses, and then you apply for forgiveness, you can have 100% of your loan forgiven.
Is that the first one or the second one?
That's both of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, so we're going back, and as you mentioned, the first one or the second one, there's something we have to talk about is the first draw or the second draw.
Okay.
And it wasn't until the Economic Aid Act came out in December that authorized a second draw to this Paycheck Protection Loan Program. So if you never applied at all to the Paycheck Protection Program, that would be considered your first draw loan if you get a loan from them.
If you get a loan from them. Now, we don't come to you for the loan.
Nope.
Okay, tell us who we go to.
Right. We have institutions all across the state and all across the country who are delegated in this process. And what that delegation means is we've authorized them to loan on our behalf.
The banks.
The banks, the
Okay.
financial, not just banks though.
Yeah, well.
So financial institutions, this could be the CDFIs, this could be your credit union down the road, this could be a micro lender like Communities Unlimited here in Arkansas.
Okay.
So all those entities, and even we've got fintech lenders like Square and PayPal who are doing direct PPP loans.
Really?
That's correct. So no matter what, even if we don't have a physical lender here in your community and you want to get online, you can always go to sba.gov/PPP and find a local lender around you that's doing the paycheck protection, or get online and connect with one of our online lenders.
You know, you also can call J. Kelley Referrals 374-5000. We have all the information. We have a binder this thick just of the information because we've been pulling it off internet. We've been making, having a binder available because people have questions. They don't know. They come in just completely green, like I was. I'm thinking there's a catch to this. Nobody's going to give you money and say they're going to forgive you, but there's not a catch. If you have all your documentations available to apply for the loan, I went straight to the bank that I do business with every day. I went to Arvest, and they supplied me with the information, and boy, it was in my account in 3 days.
There you go. And a lot of our lenders have set up an automated online process. So they've taken our application forms and converted them electronically to their own process.
Okay.
So that's why you always want to check with your lender first. If you have a lender you're working with that you know of, that you have a relationship with, reach out to them and say, hey, I think I qualify. Can I sit down with a commercial banker, or can I talk to you about how can I apply for a paycheck protection loan?
We want you to either contact your local bank. Please contact your local bank. If you have a savings account, you have a relationship. If you have a checking account, that's a relationship. If your business, your checks go into your bank, that's a relationship. I built up a relationship when I had $2 and a wood nickel with my bank, because I said, there's going to come a time when I will have real opportunity to grow my business. Thanks to SBA, I did that. And that was 21 years ago. Here we are, headed for 22 years in business with J. Kelley Referrals. We are so happy because, SBA was right there giving me information, telling me what to do, leading and guiding me. I think I stayed to the hip of Wanda May and Cheryl and Carol Stiverstone. Oh my God, I'll never forget those two people. But that's what you have to do. And I believe in not walking away with a no. There's a yes somewhere in there. This is so smooth. I want you to know. Now,
Well, this is not based on your credit. So what I want to do is make sure we address a couple of the items that usually prevent folks from going to the bank and applying for a loan.
Yes.
Because this is not one of those processes. If you're running a business, a nonprofit, or let's say you're running a veterans organization, you can qualify under this Paycheck Protection Program. So what we have to do is we have to find out what have you been paying to your employees and your overhead. We're not going to necessarily check your credit and find out if you have a capacity to pay this back because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So what SBA is doing is we're offering 100% guarantee to the bank. So the bank has 100% guarantee from us that your loan will be repaid, or we will honor that guarantee and pay off that loan on their behalf.
You know, it's a no-brainer. I want you to know, our listening audience, you know, it's an opportunity for you to grow your business and leave your worries on the table, because SBA has taken all the worry out of it. They have the program. They know what to do. The banks know exactly what to do. When you go online, if you don't have a computer, you're so busy working in your business, you're a contractor, you don't have a computer, call J. Kelley Referrals. We're really here to assist, because I know, amen, I know how hard it is when you first start out, and then you get to payroll, and there's more payroll than you have money. You have to go into your own pocket. Well, now there's an opportunity for you to have the money there for your payroll, for your overhead, for whatever you need. Even if you are a plumber and you're working with one person and you have to make money in order to pay him, well, guess what? There's money available, and we're not just joking you. I wouldn't be on this show if it wasn't real. I know it's real because I have taken advantage of it, and it's been a great opportunity. Now, whatever bank you work with every day, go to that bank, okay? Or call J. Kelley at 374-5000. We need to talk about there's another loan that offered me like this huge money. I was afraid to take it. I didn't take it, but we don't want you to be afraid. And I had to make some calls to say, is this real?
Yeah, so I definitely don't want anyone to be afraid, because I know coming to a bank may be intimidating. I know it was for me early in my entrepreneur career. I've been turned down by more than one banker on deals I've been doing. But what I do want folks to understand is this is a time, whether it's if you want to come to one of our what we call resource partners, and these are our paid counseling organizations, the Arkansas Small Business and Technology Development Center, ASB-TDC, SCORE, the Women's Business Center, and the Conductor here, all in Arkansas, can help you understand where your business is at. And let's say you haven't been the best at keeping your bookkeeping records, right? Because we know that's a huge challenge. Most people don't start businesses to keep the books, right? They start the business to get the work done.
That's right.
And to make money off of it. But if you don't know how much you're making at the end of the day, that's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to the bankers, when it comes to the taxes, and when it comes to qualifying for a loan. So if you're not there yet and need to get a little help, please go out to our Resource Partner Network, and we'll make sure we get you guys out online at sba.gov/local assistance. You can put in your zip code, and no matter where you're at in the country or the state, you can find a local resource partner next to you that's not going to charge you to do the one-on-one counseling and training that you need to get ready.
You have to have the training. You must have the training to I would, when I started in business, my mama said,
well, you know what they say, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, that's right. You don't know all the things about running a business. Well, I have been running the opportunity department at the local hospital where I retired from, so I knew I needed a banker. My mama said, you need a banker, you need an insurance company, and you definitely need a lawyer, and those are three places that you need to go first, and the CPA. I mean, those are three things. But see, everybody don't know that. I didn't know that, but like I say, my mama said, and that was 21 years ago, praise the Lord. But now today, there is information on the website. And if you don't know the website address, all you need to do is call J. Kelley, because we are connected. We know everything about the SBA. We keep up with what's going on. If there's any contracts out there, if there's some information that I can refer to, or I go to the source. Hey, amen. And this is the second time you've been on our show.
It is, and I'm glad you had me back.
Hey, I'm glad you sent that email because I was getting ready to call you. We are so glad to be here. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? I
do. I'd love to talk. You talked about another loan program, and Paycheck Protection is a major loan program. So I want to cover that a little bit more.
Okay.
PPP is still available, but it's only available until the 31st of March. Right now, the legislation that has come out still hasn't moved that date back at all. So we're still working with a dead stop at March 31st.
That's right around the corner.
That's right around the corner, absolutely. And what I want to make sure we communicate out is you have to expect that just because you get to the lender by March 31st doesn't mean your loan's in and approved.
That's right.
Right, we're going to need some behind the scenes work in order to validate the identity and make sure this is not a fraudulent entry when the lender does submit it. So we're going to need on SBA's side some time once you get that loan into the lender. So what I want to make sure we really do today is saying if you haven't gotten your PPP first draw loan, make sure you start working with a lender or a resource partner.
I would love to work with them because we have worked with, people have been dropping, that phone has been ringing off the hook, asking us about information.
So if you haven't done your first draw loan, get in there and make sure you get your application in before, I would say, the 22nd or the 23rd at the latest. And if you have already received a PPP loan, the great news is the Economic Aid Act authorized a second draw loan. And that was not only your first PPP loan, but a second loan on top of that. And so it gave our businesses that are hard hit and smaller, we reduced some of the eligibility criteria on the second draw loan. Now, we limited it 300 employees and lower, and we also said you have to have at least 25% reduction in your business in order to qualify for a PPP second draw.
Talk about reduction. You have to talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So if you were running, let's say, at $100,000 a year average revenue for 2019, now all of a sudden 2020 hit and you only made $75,000 a year, that's the kind of reduction we're looking for, because what it shows us is your business was actually hit. It was impacted by COVID.
By COVID, and COVID impacted a lot of people.
It did. So what we set,
a lot of small businesses went out of business because they didn't know.
Right. What we set was a criteria at 25%, where if your business has at least lost 25% of its revenue due to COVID, then you can qualify for a second draw loan. Additionally, what we did for restaurant-based businesses and tourism-based businesses, what we call NAICS Code 72 businesses, is we authorized them, instead of 2.5 times that monthly average overhead, we offered them 3.5 times to give them additional resources and support to help keep them open until we can get to vaccination and reconstitution.
Hey, I like that. You have provided us so much good information because, even the mobile small business that has a mobile unit, park.
Mobile detailers, food trucks.
All of you are eligible, or you have the information. I know you have to file taxes, so, if you don't know what to do and you don't know who to call, if you're afraid to call SBA because you think you're going to get turned down, or you're afraid to go to your bank, call J. Kelley Referrals, and we will point you in the right direction. We will, if you don't have access to a computer or you're not sure when you go to the website, we will guide you. We will help you. We will go, help you fill that program out. And I tell you, everything you tell us, is confidential. We have to be that. I mean, we are a small business who have been helping people for 21 years. Praise the Lord. Reverend McBee said, "Oh, Lord, hey, I am so excited about this opportunity." And, March 31st is right around the corner.
It's coming fast.
Fast. So, if you're listening to this program, you need to get on the phone. You need to start calling 374-5000. You need to do whatever you need to do in order to get the information to get it in at least by the 22nd or 23rd, because the 31st, and if you do this and approve, you get your money in 3 or 4 days. Oh my God, I was just so excited. It was like Christmas.
Well, hopefully, again, it meets the intent. Now, every applicant is going to have to sign off that they need this funding because their business has been impacted by COVID. But if it meets the intent, you can apply for forgiveness, and for loans under $150,000, the forgiveness process is really simple. It's a one-pager that you kind of have to fill out. And
you fill that out and send it to your bank.
You fill it out and you work with your bank the entire way, so you don't really have to get in front of us. But what we are here to do is connect and help educate folks on what's going on. So we're here to connect you to the lenders that are doing the programs, and we're also here to make sure that we advise you and advocate for those businesses and applicants. So a lot of work my team's doing now is working with the individual borrowers that says, hey, we have a challenge here. We're working with the lenders to make sure they know the program and how to implement it. And then we're also working on another suite of funding options and additional relief funding that we have coming out the pipe real soon.
And that's coming out real soon.
So we have the targeted economic injury disaster loans. Most of you, I'm sure, heard about the $10,000 SBA grants that were originally authorized under the CARES Act. But when you applied, you actually only got $1,000 per employee.
Or $2,000.
Well, it's $1,000 per employee.
Oh, okay.
Up to 10 employees. Well, we've revised that system. The legislation that's been passed has revised that. And now we're using what we call the targeted EIDL advance. And what that's going to do is going to take all those applicants that came in to apply for that original grant, and we're going to make sure that they're in a low to moderate income area. We're going to look at their address and find out if they are in a low to moderate income area.
Okay.
And if they are...
Now, when you say look at their address, you're looking at their zip code to see if they are in like the hub zone or low income, disadvantage?
Right.
Okay.
We're going a little bit more detailed than zip code level. We're going actual to the physical location level that they use on their application.
Okay, I got you.
And they can go out to sba.gov and find our targeted EIDL mapping tool that we have out there now, and you can type in your address to find out if you're in one of those low to moderate income areas. And if you do reside in one of those and your business has lost at least 30% of its revenue, similar to the PPP at 25%, this one's set at 30%, then you can get a grant.
Okay.
This is just a straight grant that will then make you whole from anything you received on the EIDL advance up to $10,000. So let's say
you're... Is that repay?
That's a grant. That is not repayable.
Okay. He said grant, not repayable. Understand this. Grant, not repayable.
Right. So if you originally applied for an economic injury disaster loan under the CARES Act and got the EIDL advance, which was supposed to be a quick shot of money into the business's arm, if you receive, let's say, $2,000 and you meet the LMI qualifications, you're in a low to moderate income area, and you meet the 30% reduction, then you can qualify for up to $8,000, right? And the remaining money on that $10,000 max grant. And then they'll go ahead and give that to you if you qualify. Now, the way SBA is rolling this one out is we're actually going direct to our borrowers and to our applicants and asking them to complete the process.
Okay.
Instead of opening up a public application.
Do you know who your applicants are?
We do. There's over 3 million that we've already reached out to. That's happening through an automated system online. And so what I do want folks to be aware of, if you did apply for the EIDL loan or EIDL advance at one point, you could expect an email coming in from SBA in order to fill out the application process. Now, what I do want to warn everybody about, there's a lot of fraud that's going around.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry because, I mean, there are people who are in need and then people who fraudulent get money. It's just...
Right. When you're out there struggling, you're looking for an option and you grab the website to start filling out your personal information and you find out that it's been stolen, that's not a position you want to be in.
No.
So make sure you're checking your emails for a .gov. SBA.gov is where we're sending emails from. If it comes from anyone other than that, it's not the real
fraudulent.
SBA.
No, it's not. Call J. Kelley Referrals at 374-5000. I am so glad to be here today. This is just like opening up opportunities for small businesses, you know, medium-sized business if you got 100 employees or less, or 300 or less. So
actually, the Paycheck Protection first draw is 500 or less.
Okay.
Our second draw is 300 or less.
I'm telling you, no matter if or less, that means if you run further down, you still qualify.
99.6% of businesses here in Arkansas are qualified.
And don't know it.
Well, whether they know it or not, that's what I'm trying to do.
That's what you're trying to do, and I'm here to help you.
Right.
Okay, this is Mary Parham. I have been talking with
Edward Haddock.
I want to say Ed, and I want you to tell your whole name. And give me the website again, even though J. Kelley has it. Give us the website again.
It's www.sba.gov, and then you can put in /PPP and go right to the Paycheck Protection page. Or you can just go out there and you'll see a big banner up on our front page for Coronavirus Financing Relief.
There it is.
And then you can find out more about the Paycheck Protection Program. We've talked a little bit about the EIDL loan, which that is the direct from SBA loan that's limited up to $150,000. And what that's intended to be is a component where the business needs immediate relief now to help keep the doors open and people paid.
Yes.
But coronavirus has been going on for a year now.
Can you believe
and
it?
so this EIDL loan is really a long-term loan to help give the business access to working capital that they can use until we get back to normal. So this is going to be up to $150,000. This will be based on your credit. This will be based on your revenue. This will be based on your overhead. But it's repayable over 30 years. And it's at 3.75% for businesses and 2.75% for nonprofits.
Hey, there you have it. We have to wrap this up. I could go on and on and on. And if you didn't get all of this, please contact J. Kelley Referrals, 374-5000. But it's going to be aired on 102.5, Thanks for Praise, on Sunday, on next Sunday. And it's going to be aired every day. Every Saturday from that point on, and not only that, we're going to have it everywhere for you to make sure that you have that information. If you didn't get all the numbers and you was not sure that you got all the information, and we were talking fast and you were writing, you can call J. Kelley Referrals. We're here for you. We are here to connect people and the services together, and I am so glad that we are 21 years old, going on 22 in June, and we have been servicing the state of Arkansas for almost 22 years. No wonder I'm tired. But anyway, there's much to be done and much work to be done, and there's so many people to be educated about what's there for them, especially the PPP loan. Don't let it pass you by, or you're going to be sitting there scratching your head like, why did I take advantage of it? Documentation beats conversation any day. So if you got questions about your documentation and how you get started, even if you're a food truck, even if you're a plumber working with one person, whatever you do, we want you to contact J. Kelley at 374-5000. We will point you in a direction. And you may not have a computer at home. You may not know anything about the website. We will assist you. We will assist you no matter where you live, wherever you are. Now, I want to let you know, we are on the move. We're here at SBA. And if you have a business and you want us to come to your business and air a show live, just like we're doing today, call us, 374-5000. Hey, between Tony Ellison, he's my production, what are you, my production analyst? He's the production person. You call J. Kelley Referrals at 374-5000, and you call us, and we will be glad to set up a time where we can come out and shoot you live. Shoot your business and what you do and your needs and your questions. We'll be glad to. 374-5000, we're at SBA, and we are glad to talk to Edward.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure.
Well,
you hadn't aged a bit. Now you have gray hair. What's up with that?
I try. I just want to make sure you keep your eyes open for 2 other grant programs we're about to release. The SVOG, the Shuttered Venue Operator Grant, which is for theaters and places that have a lot of attendees that usually come, gathering places, conference centers, etc. That's going to be a grant program specifically for those businesses, as well as a restaurant revitalization grant that was just recently authorized. and this is going to help specifically our restaurant and food businesses.
Amen. There you have it.
Give us a call, 501-324-7379 if you need assistance.
Give us that number again.
501-324-7379.
There you have it. Mary Perham with J. Kelley Referrals. We are J. Kelley on the Move, and this is our radio talk show. We are now on the move. We're coming to you. I tell you, the pandemic got us out of the office and out of the studio and brought us to the businesses, and we're so excited about this. So call us. We'd be happy to talk to you about it. You be blessed, and remember, cast your cares on him because he cares for you. That's 1 Peter 5:7. We're signing off now.
Thank you for listening to the J. Kelley Business to Business Talk Show, brought to you by J. Kelley Referrals and Information Services. If you're a certified business owner who would like to be a guest, please call J. Kelley Referrals and Information Services at 501-374-5000. That's 501-374-5000.